again to a daily reading from Book 1 of the Dragon Within Saga, Convergence. We're going to pick up here and continue reading in Chapter 4 about Entelos, the Grand Wizard. And to recap, he just came to the revelation that the presence in the doorway that he was feeling was in fact an angel. So we're going to continue on, and maybe we'll find out what the angel wants this time. Here we go. As it stood in the doorway, pressed against his consciousness, its very existence began to challenge the Grand Wizard's preconception of purpose. If there was one angel, did that mean there were more? And if there were more, who was at their head? For what purpose did they appear? With his active mind beginning to throw ripples into this divinely created stillness, the angel resonated a greater calm, refocusing Entelos utterly upon it. The glass-like stillness returned, and he found himself approaching the answer to at least one of his questions. What did it want of him? Without speaking, the angel was able to communicate. Entelos saw the image of a cave, a hidden cave long in its solitude and great in its importance. He was meant to find this cave, but that was not the end. The implanted vision for the angel shifted from the forgotten cave to a young girl, a girl whose face he could not see. Faceless, this girl was somehow attached to the cave, as if a single lost sheep had lost its way and failed to return home. But the reunion of the two would never happen if he did not follow the directive from the superior being. Embossed within his newfound realization was the need and willful intent to find what he had been given charge to find. Wait, he was given charge? He was instructed? It just occurred to him that the Grand Wizard of the High Council of Wizards and the Grand Master of the University of Knowledge, the great Entelos Sayer, had just been enlisted into the service of a being whose intent seemed even greater than his pursuit of knowledge. Entelos began to laugh, at least internally, because he was still unable to reproduce any degree of movement. Perhaps, if he concentrated hard enough and applied all of the reservoirs of his will, he would be able to wiggle a finger, but certainly he was still unable to produce the complex, coordinated movements required to express the irony he was now feeling. His laughter continued. He had visited each and every king, emperor, queen, and royal court in every nation in Avendia. He had spoke with a solidified assurance such that all would consider his words and advice with even more severity than even those of their closest companions. He had achieved a level of authority in the land that extended far beyond the considerable authority of the previous 3 Grand Wizards. Yet, at the end of this day, he was being summoned as if he was again an initiate on his very first day. A deep laughter from the very reaches of his belly would have exploded from his mouth if he was yet able to move. "Grand Wizard Entelos," said Inaria timidly from the back of the room, "why are you laughing?" So immersed within the moment that had obviously passed, he did not notice that while he believed he was still unable to move, he was, in fact, capable of engaging his normal motor control to its fullest capacity, and was currently enjoying what must have appeared to his students as a completely insane laughing fit from an old and insane wizard. However, one does not become Grand Wizard without finding oneself in numerous uncomfortable positions, without the wherewithal to properly brush them aside as if it was, in fact, normal behavior. Still, through a small chuckle and reflexive deep inhalation, Entelos spoke. "What was the last thing you saw, Inaria?" "We were listening to you talk, Grand Wizard Entelos. Then you sort of paused for a second, then started laughing," replied the girl, who looked around seeking the comforting approval of her classmates. "Very interesting. Did you feel anything? Did any of you feel anything?" he asked, first to Inaria and then to his class. "I do not know. I do not think so. Maybe just a small draft of air from the window," answered the girl once again. "Very well then. Let us allow no more time to pass before we begin the first of several lessons that will be integral to your ability to understand knowledge as true knowledge." He began again with the formal material he desired to present to his students in their first class period. As intensely as he desired to research this cave and its contents, whatever they may be, he still had a responsibility to his students that required the completion of at least this class before he began looking into the angel in the cave. He continued, I want you all to close your eyes and envision a flame. The rest of the class passed without any more interruptions or otherworldly incidences, and quite frankly, the Grand Wizard was content with having only a single visit from the angel he had once believed was only a myth. Upon its completion, he dismissed the students by letting them know that he may or may not be back with them on the morrow, but should he not be with them, he would enlist the expertise of Mido the Wise to further progress them on their meditative journey. Each year, after the first day's initial class, Entellus would always retire to his study and finalize a list of projects for the outgoing class of Ascendants. He personalized this list based on all of the knowledge he gathered from his exposure to each of them over the years of their study within the university's walls. Doing so allowed him to complete two objectives. Firstly, he was able to give his students projects fitting their level of ability, and secondly, he was able to assign them topics that would hold their attention. In past years, the Ascendants were allowed to select their own final projects, but when one of them chose to pursue the arts of necromancy and subsequently animated a previously dead turtle, the council had to act simply because of the sheer implications. Sure, one turtle is not enough to cause rise for concern, but what was to stand in the way of a wizard applying the techniques of dissection upon the turtle to that of a human? While the completion of his project was extremely substantial and had a great advancement in the realm of knowledge, all evidence of it had to be eliminated by the decree of the council. So, as it was, the young Ascendant's memory was erased and altered, and all notes on the matter were destroyed. But he did not stop there, because the implications could be so devastating if explored by the evil side of the wizardry. As Grand Wizard, he mandated that all memory of this event be erased. However, it would have been impossible to erase everyone's memory. Consequently, there had to be one who would retain it, and that one was him. Alright, we're going to stop right there. We just found out what the angel wanted, and it's a good place to hold until next time when we hear more about what, if anything, Grand Wizard Entellus is going to do with his new charge and mission. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want, like, share, and subscribe to this page. I do daily readings from the Dragon Within Saga Convergence. I also read some of my poems, whether they're previously published from one of my other books or whether it's a new release poem that I've never published before. So tune in. Check out my website in the description. You can buy any of my books right from there. And I appreciate you tuning in. And always, again, until next time, always release your Dragon Within. Thank you, and have a great day.